a very warm welcome to today's workshop on Impact Focus. Today, we officially begin the series of 9 immersive, highly participative series of workshops we have planned for you as a part under the umbrella of Leadership Lab for NIXI. Overall, this program, as also mentioned in earlier communications, will enable you all to reflect your own leadership style, your impact on the organization and others, and how you motivate them to create change and impact. Let's say you have taken on a leadership challenge. In your roles at NIXI, this select group of 10 people, 10 leaders are anyway someone who are playing that role and who get that exposure, experience, and opportunity to do that, to take on several new challenges as the organization moves ahead and grows. So I'll just explain on this slide primarily how and what has been the thought of planning this journey for you and why these 9 workshops and what is the how do we go about it. Today, for example, we will be talking about impact focus, but as we began, we thought about who you are. What is your individual leadership style? So as you know, we did that detailed leadership diagnostic. One of the leadership reports of your situational leadership has already been shared with you. Yesterday's session on understanding your leadership aura was all about deciphering that report and understanding it more than anything else. It is always going to remain with you, and it is something which is an asset you can always go back to and refer. I still use all my diagnostic reports and sometimes redo them as well to see if I have moved around a little bit here and there in my styles. So after yesterday's session, now we will think about the impact you want to create, which is what will be covered by Dr. Bhavna Kumar in today's session. Strategic thinking, the next workshop, is about the choices that you will make to create that impact. We will be then getting innovative workshop, which is all about thinking of ideas that you may not have thought through yet, how to get creative around problem solving, how to use other people's energies to create newer ideas, think out of the box. To achieve impact, you will also be working with partners. As per the suggestion of NIXI leadership, we have included this, where we will talk about how to work effectively with partners through partner excellence. You will be achieving impact through others. So then we will talk about how do you build strong teams, which I'm sure you all are a pro at, and we will perhaps be learning from you. Results matter. So we will then be talking about how do we ensure that you continue to deliver results. As a leader, then you will be constantly challenging the way things are done. We will then talk about how to help you drive transformational change throughout. The next workshop is about process excellence for any business or team. As you all would agree, in order to succeed, they need the right set of supporting processes. So we will be talking about that in process excellence. And ultimately, none of this will be possible if you are not thriving, if you are not enjoying this journey yourselves. So we will reflect on that in how you can thrive yourself. Finally, we will be putting all of these thoughts into action through a learning project. We have thought that we will put a project around it. However, we would want to urge that you keep reflecting on and keep thinking on what this strategic learning project could be about, that you can do as a part of this special program you've been nominated for. So I would just say that keep reflecting on it. If you get ideas, share with us through the journey. Otherwise, we will design it along with you as we go around. Any questions on the journey? Anybody? I see a lot more people have joined in. I hope it's all of you. Hi, Abhishek, Gautam, and Abhishek Mishra.
Hello, ma'am.
Hey.
How
Hi,
are you?
Vidya. Hi.
Hi. So I was just explaining the series of workshops which are planned. Today we begin with the very first one, which is Impact Focus. I now hand over the floor to Dr. Bhavna, who will be taking this workshop for us today. Have a great one. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
it's a pleasure to welcome all the participants from Nixie. I am going to be a facilitator for this workshop on Impact Focus. I'm Bhavna. I have been working with a lot of people, trying to help them to understand their goals, their vision statements, trying to help people find directions, working with a lot of companies, organizations, students during my part with Amity. And the more I interact with people and budding leaders like all of you, I find a lot of it that helps me myself. So I'm looking forward to the next few minutes. It's a pleasure that you have all been associated with us. But just to help me to understand, I hope that everybody is comfortable with the chat function and the emojis and how to unmute. This is something which is going to be interactive. It is to help all of you come out as the future leaders for Nixie. So your comments, your emotions that you can see here, how to use that. If you could just give me a smiley or something, or just put in a okay, or just shout out through the voice that you are comfortable with the Zoom environment. Great, absolutely. So this session is all about trying to understand as a leader where you are heading, because we are all seeing you as future leaders, and more important, how are we going to help you to get there. So Nixie has established a vision, and I'm sure you as future leaders are also going to have a lot of vision to understand how you are going to be driving your next journey as the future leader, and to be able to enable you as to how to get there. We will go through the elements of what exactly is the vision, what stops us from formulating, understanding, building the vision, and more important, impact of that vision. For whatever teams, projects, you're going to be leading a lot of mini projects, you're going to be leading a lot of teams. For what? How are you going to be doing it? And all that is useless if it is not described very clearly, very concisely, with a lot of commitment and with a lot of purpose. So we hope that you, all of you, will be taking some good insights out of this workshop to understand that what is vision. That is the context, right? And the context is that if you are going to be in charge tomorrow, you are going to be setting some kind of a direction, some kind of a visibility. Your organization is the backbone of the internet community of our country, and you are identified as the backbone of Nixie themselves. And if you are the backbone, and if we are going to be leading that charge of different projects in different areas of technology, finance, business development, all of which you belong to, administration, very exciting functions, and each function has a very important role to play. So as a leader, we end up sometimes just confining ourselves to how are we doing things rather than why are we doing things. So the first thing that we will understand is what is the vision, and to help understand that, just a small exercise as to who do you think is a visionary. These are just some people that we have put together ourselves, very famous people. I'm sure you can connect with most of them. My favorites, a few favorites are also here. Uh, and if you think that these people are visionary, or if you have another idea of somebody else whom you think is visionary, just we would like you to reflect upon that for a few seconds. And I have my co-host Vani, who's going to help me in trying to make this a little better. So I would request her to break out into pairs of two, pick up your favorite visionary leader or somebody else, and help us to understand uh, why is it that you find that person to be a visionary, and what do you understand by that visionary. So Vani, if you could, we'll go into pairs, if that is okay. Let me check how many have joined, and we could possibly may have 5 breakout rooms, and in the 5 breakout rooms which we are choosing by random, because it's a closed group, all of you work together. Just try to connect together and understand. We'll have a breakout of 2 minutes. Vani, just let us know when the breakout.
So we need to identify one visionary.
You can identify all of them also as visionaries. So you can be inspired by multiple people, and you can pick up the best out of multiple also. We are trying to help you to look within yourself. We are trying to help you to identify the you've gone through personality types, you've gone through leadership styles, and now it is the task as to see yourself as a leader. Now, to understand yourself as a leader, we are trying to identify leaders who are known leaders. Nobody is contending that these people were not leaders, right?
Not not limited to this slide.
Not limited to this type. It could be individual. Please go ahead if you have a question.
Ma'am, after this, you will ask us why do you think he is a good leader or something, right?
What is it that you think makes that person to be a visionary?
Yeah.
In this workshop, we are going to be talking about how we are making an impact through our forward thinking, through our vision. And if the people that we have shown here, or anybody else that you think is your role model as a person who was a visionary, then what is it that made them a visionary? So we are trying
So Bhavna, it could be someone like my mother or my teacher or somebody as well.
It could be a personal person as well, and it could be a well-known person as well. It could be somebody in your family, it could be a friend, it could be a teacher, absolutely, Vidya. And if you think that Martin Luther King or Jeff Bezos or Abdul Kalam ji or Obama were visionary people, are visionary people, then what is it that made them visionary? So we are trying to identify the context of what is a vision and then elements of what constitute a vision, so that we can try and understand how we can find that vision for ourselves and then to help the teams and the projects that we will be taking charge of.
Professor Bhavna, I'm initiating the breakouts.
Thanks, Vani. So we are making into groups of 2. You would see the breakout rooms in front of you.
I think Rajiv got left out. Rajiv, are you in the common room? So we'll perhaps assign you again. Rajiv ji, are you in the common room? Okay, now he's got assigned. Hello. So we have people from room 1 back into the main room.
So welcome back, everybody. I found a lot of internal activity within each of the rooms. I hope you were able to deliberate and come up with some ideas. Who would like to go first and share what do you think makes the people a visionary?
So Negi ji, go first.
Hello.
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, I suppose every visionary which are shown here, visionaries, I think the first thing first is a visionary should be a great dreamer. I suppose he is a great dreamer first, because once you dream, then only you take steps to strive hard and to achieve that dream. I think one has to be a dreamer, then only you can set your vision and you can.
That's a wonderful thought. Absolutely. Anybody else would like to go ahead?
So we were in the same group. So yes, the very point what Mr. Negi mentioned, that you have to be a dreamer, and definitely you have to have a very big picture in mind. You know what exactly you want to achieve, where exactly you want to go, and what difference you want to make in this world. So that thing has to be striving in your head always, and you should believe that goal, and you should strive for that, and believing in yourself, and also believing believing in the same goal for other people also. So that is also very important for a leader to go ahead with his visions or his goals.
And who did you identify as the person who you think is a visionary?
So I think Mr. Abdul Kalam
Dr.
ji and Gandhi ji, and if I talk about Steve Jobs also, so all those Einstein, so they had a very clear vision in their mind, that they want to achieve in this specific area, and they worked really hard in that specific area, and they were persistent in their goal always, and making working on that, and also making other people believe in that vision and their dreams.
I think you've summarized it very well with all the elements that we are going to think. There should be a dream, there should be people, there should be taking people along together, and there should be goals and working towards that goals. Somebody from the other room?
Yeah, hi Bhavna, this is Abhishek. I'm from room number 3.
Hi, Abhishek.
Abhishek Gautam and Rajiv were also there. So I think APJ Abdul Kalam, the first part of your question, that who you think, and the second part is why. Because the best quality which I like about him, that whenever there is a success, he put his team first, and whenever there is a failure, he put himself first.
Wonderful. I think
So
that's a beautiful.
that is the quality which I liked about him. So I'm a huge admirer of him. So that's what I want to share with you.
हाँ, और अभिषेक जी आपके साथ who else were there?
Uh,
Yeah,
Abhishek was there
yeah,
and
yeah,
Rajiv Kumar.
yeah,
Please,
ma'am.
Abhishek,
So would
please,
you
Abhishek.
like to add? And of course, you admire the person for the way of managing the team. But what about Abdul Kalam ji's vision itself?
Yeah, like Abhishek said that Abdul Kalam ji, whenever there is a failure, he puts himself in front of the team. And adding to it is that like his vision was to make India self-reliant in what we say in having missiles, Indian own missile system on the place. And he has done a lot of things in research in research and development of defense in India. And due to his efforts, India became self-reliant in defense. That is what his vision was. And when he became the president, his vision was to spread positivity, to spread positivity amongst the youngsters. He used to have a lot of lectures with children and youngsters and spread about like he used to stress upon the importance of what hard work is all about. Why we should not give up when we fail. He in fact created the meaning of failure, fail first time. Like I'm not able to recall the full form, but he even after becoming the president, he was down to earth, and he was there for the youngsters. He was encouraging the youngsters to do something for the country. Until he was alive, he was having vision only for the country. And yeah,
Absolutely. I think
and
very
apart,
Abhishek ji, I can feel how much you admire the person, and
yeah,
specifically because of the drive that he had, and not only for that, and vision for not only himself for his own growth, but for others. I think that is what you're trying to say, and that is if you're able to, if you feel that as a role model, I think you will be able to take back the first lesson that his vision was very clear. It was very compelling. He was taking the entire country, and most important, the children, the future of the country.
yeah, yeah. And apart from Abdul Kalam ji, I think Swami Vivekananda is one of the other leaders which we admire, which I personally admire a lot. And the speech which he gave in Chicago in 1893, that was very much impactful. It was way beyond 1893 when he spread awareness. He enlightened world about Hinduism, about what Hinduism is, about the tolerance concept in Hinduism, about the what we say spiritual spiritual concept in Hinduism, and about the karma. So after he was also one of the biggest visionary in my view, Swami Vivekananda.
Very good. But Abhishek, ji, both of the role models that you've chosen, one was a person who was a scientist, and the other was things, and they come from different fields, and yet from different fields, different areas, just like all of you are here, they had different visions which created an impact.
Yes,
So
yes.
anybody else from your room and another room would like to add?
Hi, Bhavna. I am in room number 3.
Hi, please go ahead.
Yeah, Rajiv is here. As per me, the most visionary and is my parents, and as a leader, they teach me how to dream it to become a successful person in life. So it's my visionary and all the things my parents, and they motivate me to do better in your life, make a good person to me, and work towards the country and as a good citizen of India.
That is one of the best things. I mean, it's something that you are relating to personally. You're seeing it, you're living it every day, you're being impacted by it every day. Uh, that is very strong. And I think if you have understood the impact of it, then I think you've got the first context of what we are setting for this workshop, right? The next room, people would please, if you can share your views.
To add on to what everybody said, it was really wonderfully put by everyone. So to add on to that, the vision in itself would mean an outcome. So visionary leader, or what I have been taught through my previous bosses and my current CEO at Nixie is that firstly define an outcome for what you want to do, maybe a broad outcome or maybe a concrete outcome, and then all the moving parts will automatically fall in place basis the outcome that you have defined in your mind. So that per se has really transformed the way I work. And this methodology of working, I believe this is a vision being quantified in terms of an outcome. So a leader who's very straightforward in terms of his vision, who knows what exactly does he want, will get it done through all of the moving parts. Moving parts, as all of the people prior to me have said, would be people, would be emotions, would be processes. So vision has to be correlated to a defined outcome, as also Steve Jobs had a clear vision of what he wants from the world. He said the customers do not know, but I do. And look where he put Apple today.
Very well put, Supratik ji. And we also in Amity also, our founder president also believes in outcome. So that I will remember. I will make you remember when we go to the goals part also, that the outcome is important. Your role model here was Steve Jobs, and of course your own organization. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Correct. And we will come back to the definition by outcome in the second phase of the workshop. Who else was there, Supratik, in your room?
Shantanu ji was there, and Praveen ji was there in my group.
Okay.
You
Praveen,
want us to add something?
Praveen ji, would you like to add something?
I just admire the Mr. Abdul Kalam actually, because of one of his speech. I had remember that he said in the audience, in the audience, he said, "If you fail, never give up," because fails means, as Vidya ma'am has already written, first attempt in the learning, fail. So at that moment, he also said that failure will never overtake until you have determination to succeed. It is strong enough actually. So that's a point. So I already remember and admire them actually.
But most of these elements of outcome and not being having the fear of failure, we will possibly touch upon more when we are talking about when we are taking the elements of the vision. But to have that, to define what is the outcome, of course we have to have an outcome, but not always are we able to define the outcome also, correct? We have a hesitation, we don't know where we are headed. So if we don't know where we are headed, then obviously we will not be able to find the path, and then we may keep on failing. So in the opinion of everybody and people who have succeeded, it's not that they also did not fail. Not everybody that we have shown. Einstein also failed a number of times. Mahatma Gandhi persisted and persisted. He never gave up, right? Had he thought that, no, if I failed, I'll give up, he would never have had. Steve Jobs is known to have created a lot of products that failed, but he persisted. So, but he still had a vision, right? So if we want to set a vision, what is it that makes it difficult for us to think about vision? If you could just think about that, why is it that we are not able to identify the vision only for ourselves? What is the reason why we cannot come up with where we are heading?
One would be the fear of failure.
Right.
A vision in my own mind as of today would be maybe seems unrealistic to me as today, and if I fear that if I move towards it, I might fail. I might not even move towards it. So fear of failure is a great demotivator, and to overcome that requires a lot of efforts.
Lot of effort. Bilkul. Absolutely. Anybody else would like to add?
I'd like to add one thing, ma'am, that apart from that, you should be having the risk-taking ability with you. Until and unless you have this, you won't be able to be a leader. If you see that any of the famous person, you would see that they have come from a different type of background, because they have taken the risk in life. And yes, risk of failure is there also, but they are not afraid of the same. So apart from that, I think a leader has to be bold also. He has to be strategic also. and he should be organized also. His interpersonal skill should be very, very great, and he should be focused, optimistic. So all these traits should be there in a leader. And if you ask me that, according to you, who is your, leader or something, I would say that I have seen Mr. Shiv Nadar working very closely. I have seen him working and how he has transformed a company like HCL. He has only said that employee first.
Correct.
Right? So according to me, he is one of my leader, and yes, our current CEO is also there. He is also having a lot of traits what a leader should have. So since me, Supratik, and Mr. Praveen are from the same room, so this is my opinion on that. And I would like to add one more thing. Since the meeting has been rescheduled, so we are here till 6 o'clock, and
That
I'm
is
really
wonderful news, Shantanu. Wonderful news. I was wondering
so that is my thought, ma'am.
But the traits of a leader are very important. They will be the driving force behind what you are going to achieve. But Deepika, you haven't spoken, and I think few others have also not spoken. If I ask you to define a vision for whatever team you are going to be entering, why is it that it is difficult for you to do that? And you can relate it to who you found to be a visionary. Deepika, would you like to share?
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
Hi, Deepika.
As our first question is, who is our visionary? So for this, there are lots of people. So it is very difficult for me to choose one. There are lots of very successful people, as we have shown in the pics also.
Good. You can have many. You can have many, Deepika. You can have as many as you want. But why do you think they are so important?
Ma'am, actually, we get to learn from their experience. They are quite having good experienced people who teach us from their experience to make us a good person, good leader.
But if I ask you to think about becoming, setting a vision, then why is it difficult for you to think about a vision sometimes?
It's just because lack of confidence, lack of exact knowledge about the things what you want to do. You should have clear vision. As we are learning in from your MET webinars also, we should have one clear vision. If we lack vision, then there will be unclear roles of our team member also. So this is the first thing. Firstly, we should have the clear vision about anything we are going to do. And we should have some goal attached to it, that we have to accomplish that goal and we should work toward it. And we should put all our efforts. Maybe not having clear vision is not working towards it, not putting sufficient efforts towards it. This is.
Yes. So most of the points which you have said, risk taking, people have said fear failure. These are some of the things that are very, very true. We lack clarity. Normally we get bogged down by the daily work so much, and that itself, that hard work only takes so much of time. We lack the time to introspect. We fear the failure, the risk taking ability, as Shantanu was saying, and we make too many assumptions also sometimes. We assume that we may not be able to do it. We are not able to think up to the North Star and take us there. We don't have time. We are not able to understand and visualize. As somebody quoted Jeff Bezos, we are not able to visualize what is not there already, which we can create as well. And again, because of fear of failure, because of things, and because of our basic assumptions. So in this journey, we are trying to be able to help to break and to be able to understand that fear of failure and risk taking is a part of it. It is not something that is unique. Everybody goes to it. Everybody, even the person who invented the plane, nothing that we see around us would have happened had these people not broken that mindset. It is ultimately all about mindset. And if any one of you thinks that you would like to add to that, that it is not about mindset, about the fear of failure, you have to go beyond that. Otherwise, people will always think that we could not have flight. People will not think that a motion picture is not possible. Any person, any personality, any kind of a leader can dream. Somebody said dream, and this is all about the world of dreamers without having the fear of failure. So the context of what is a vision and what stops us from making that or understanding that vision, coming to when is it necessary? Should everybody have a vision? Should you have a visionary thinking every time? If we say that yes, to be a visionary we have to be dreaming, then is it all right to be dreaming about having that vision every time? When is it necessary? Soumya, welcome to the session.
A vision would be a guiding stone to initiate something new, and then it acts as a pillar which you can refer to again and again wherever you are going haywire from your direction. So vision would be necessary when you begin, and would always be necessary throughout the journey to check your progress in terms of what are you going to achieve and where are you right now.
Okay.
So the milestone probably.
Right. So you think that every time there should be you should be thinking. And is there a time when you should not be having a visionary thinking? Anybody? Vision is very important. It has to be reinforced. People have to be knowing about it. Everybody in your project should be understanding the vision that you are setting. If you're having a team, but if you have built a team, you've set a vision for yourself. Are there also times when visionary thinking is not necessary? So as Supratik was rightly saying, it is important to have a vision and to be able to exercise that vision, because everybody has to follow that vision, right? And we want that the path has to be very, very made clear to the teams that you're doing. So if you're leading a team and if you're trying to make people work towards it, everybody can't just do something without understanding why they're doing it. So that milestone, reminding yourself what is a vision, it is always there. And we want to motivate everybody. Why are we having this leadership lab also? Because we want to tell and reinforce the fact that there has to be a motivational energy behind what you are going to achieve, right? And when we are going to be having a lot of competition, which is so uncertain, all of you are working in an industry which was not existing before the 90s, and suddenly it is the industry to be in. But what will happen tomorrow? So is this the right time to, because you are in the most happening industry, to stop about it? Is this the right time to be thinking even farther ahead and building a vision? And if not, then whatever you are doing today, is it okay to be continuing doing that? So when should you be having a visionary thinking and when should you not be having a visionary thinking? We just put these pointers together, but just think about the work that you all of you're doing within your own teams, within your own departments, and share some kind of a process or an event where you think you felt that yes, because you thought ahead and you had that visionary thinking, you were able to achieve something much before anybody else could have. Any thoughts?
I think if you want to exist in the industry and if you think, you have to make sense in the coming years for the organization and for yourself and also for the industry, then you have to have a visionary thinking, because once you know what it takes to be in the future, and you set goals and you try to achieve those, then only it is possible to be survive for longer years in the industry or for self goal as well. So you have to be visionary, I think, all the time in terms of professional thing. I think so.
Absolutely. I think because you always have to be able to think ahead while being able to motivate your entire team members to be doing towards that. So having understood that it is necessary, it is except when you are just executing some very procedural kind of a task, then maybe obviously you have to also focus yourselves and not just continue to think about the future, but also focus on the present. That time you have to be in the present and to be executing the task. But otherwise, you need to be very sure about why is it that you want to do something. So we will be talking in the next section of this workshop. Why is it? What is the purpose? So if you're leading your own teams, for who are you doing it? What is the purpose of your different departments? And if that purpose is to satisfy customers, if that purpose is to bring new clients for Nixie, for business development, if it is to have a better system, if it is to have a better technology, then what is the foundation? What is the identity? What is the goal that you are going to be things? But most important, we are going to be emphasizing on how we can help all of you to be able to describe it. Because unless and until you are able to implement whatever we have been talking about, it just becomes an exercise of having a vision, trying to think about it, having a vision statement. So we want to actually make an impact through helping you to describe it and as clearly as possible, with your purpose, your values and things. To help that, now just think about your teams and the projects and the companies that you are in. And we are trying to first understand what is the purpose of the company. What is the purpose of a team that is put together? What is the purpose of a project that everybody is involved in? So to help us to understand that context, we have put together some companies here. And again, I would request my co-host, Vani, we'll again have a breakout, not the same rooms, but we are trying to understand 3M, American Express, Boeing, Ford. These are all companies which have existed since centuries, right? And we feel that they have been able to exist even within transitions, even within economic things, etc., etc. But why is it that they have been existing? So Vani, if you can help me to break people into groups and have a conversation to understand the purpose which helped these companies to stick together and exist for over the centuries. Any question before we break out into rooms about the purpose of this small exercise? The purpose is to help us identify the purpose of our own projects and our own teams by understanding how these companies, which are everlasting companies, were able to find it. So can we go to breakout rooms, Vani?
Sure, Bhavna. 5 groups of 2 each.
Yeah, thanks. So we'll just break it into 5 groups of 2 each, and we are trying to identify the purpose. It was good to see a lot of activity in most of the rooms. Welcome back, everybody. So, Shubham ji, आप room 2 में थे ना, Abhishek Mishra ji और Shubham ji, will you like to start with your inputs? Room 2 people. Abhishek and Shubham ji, are you back?
Yeah, we are back. Abhishek, please.
Yes, we are back.
Would you like to start room 2?
Abhishek, start.
Sir, okay. So what we have analyzed looking at these companies, that these companies keep on upgrading themselves with time. They understand the requirement of their customers, the consumers, whatever they need. And one more point that they keep on. First point is that they keep on innovating themselves as per the requirement of the consumer or customer. The second point is they have a different product or a different for as per the geography of the area. Suppose a particular country has that geographical area and their requirement is different. So same product of same name must have different qualities and different features specifically designed for that particular geography. So this is what I think we both feel that why these companies have survived till now and they are still doing good. And
very well put, Abhishek. You want to add something, Shubham?
So these were the ideas. So they stand for the society at large. They identified when they started with a solution for one of the basic problems. So, and from there onwards, what Abhishek shared, they kept on innovating. They kept on expanding to the various geographies and adapting their business as per the local requirements. So that's how they have been able to survive for so long, and they continue to survive and value add to the lives of the end customers.
I think perfectly. So you are, both of you are convinced that they had a clear purpose, right?
Right.
Yes.
And room 1, there was Abhishek, Gautam, and Supratik, right? Would you like to add to something?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, we discussed the case of IBM and in which we discussed that IBM is one of the oldest companies in terms of having technical products. They have a lot of technical products like servers, computers, and they are also into the software. So the secret behind like what we felt IBM success is that they kept on upgrading, transforming their self in technical arena. They keep on adapting and learning and putting into the system the new technologies, and they were not following the legacy systems. So due to this, IBM is one of the most stable and a long-running company. And recently, IBM has tie up with Lenovo also, in which Lenovo is selling their products with the brand name of IBM. So these types of company collaborations have helped IBM to prosper and to stand in the market. That is what we discussed now.
बिल्कुल और आप देखो ये जो इनकी statement है that also gels with your whatever you have just been saying.
Yeah, ma'am.
To be that they don't say we want to have $1 million revenue by 5 years. You know, if you look at most of these statements, they're not talking about something which is about a figure or a milestone only. They are talking about the essence of the company. They're talking about the not becoming stagnant. They're talking about what they stand for. So the world's most important information technology company, and then because to achieve that, they will constantly, as you're saying, achieving. So their core is very clear to that.
Yeah, they are changing themselves at times, and in terms of technical.
Absolutely.
They are technically upgrading themselves as and when new technology platforms are coming into the market, and they are offering same to their customers. And this USP is helping them out. They are now a brand name in the market also.
So and they are able to then have that visionary thinking within themselves, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
So room 3, Nitinji and Deepika.
Yes, ma'am. So we discussed, and I think if we look at the examples here, like if I talk about 3M. So 3M is, I think, is an organization who will be having the maximum number of SKUs. I think around 1 lakh SKUs they sell. So they have more than 1 lakh products which they make and they sell all across the globe. So I think that is one of the points where diversity comes into picture, and they're into different sectors, automobile and the industrial products and other products. So they are also always diversified in different products. They keep on innovating a lot. So they understand, if they want to survive in the current times and in future, they have to come up with new innovative products, which can be a part of a daily usage to an end customer.
And
so
that is
one.
What the statement says. What you're saying is actually shown in the statement. It is not they made post-its and that they stopped there.
Yes.
It's to bring that improvement and innovation in everyday life.
Yes. So a lot of innovative products they have, and they keep on coming with those products to survive in the current times and also in the future. So that is their mantra. And if you talk about American Express has been also a very old organization, and they have been into banking sector, and the customer service is excellent for them. So they always keep coming with new schemes and new promotionals for the end customer. And they have made such a big brand that people, who own an American Express is considered to be a successful person, So that is the kind of brand image they have built up in so many years. So I think in order to have that kind of brand loyalty and brand image, you have to work towards your brand building process by giving excellent customer service, which American Express has been giving to their end customer.
Yes. Very well summarized. Room number 5.
Hello.
Ma'am, Rajiv this side.
Hi, Rajiv. Please go ahead.
In my room, Mr. Negi and Parvinji is there. We can discuss all the company listed there. We can and that all the company maintain their existing product as a quality along with innovation. They start a new product, a new idea as per their requirement, and they merge or purchase a new company as per their scenario they can do. Like WhatsApp purchase Facebook is one of the example of that. Anything Negiji and Praveenji want to add, please add.
Absolutely. Negiji, Praveenji, you want to add something?
Yeah, why these companies which are shown here, they are still doing good. As one thing is for sure, they are very much clear about their purpose. I mean, the purpose behind their existence is to serve the customers at large. This is the purpose, and they keep innovating on their services and products, and that's why they are still going red guns.
So, बिल्कुल I'll capture that word because that is the next segment, that you have to understand the purpose for which you stand. And most of these companies successfully understood that. So we are going to do a small exercise to help us to further understand the purpose. These are different photographs that all of you see here. So what do you see here? If somebody can help me, Deepika, what do you see in the screen in front of you?
Perhaps this is a team. Perhaps this is a team who are, dining together. They are just shopping together and traveling together. And this shows that it's a team of couple of people.
Yes, we can hear you.
Negiji, I think we lost you. You were speaking.
No problem. Let us take the view from any other. No?
Please, Shantanu, what do you think? Negiji was, I think it was very fascinatingly observed it to be one team doing lovely things together. That's a very interesting perspective. What is your perspective, Shantanu?
I can see a lot of good foods on the table.
I think so too. I hope we have the next session physically on campus, that we can enjoy a lovely meal together to break the ice.
Yeah, correct. So there in the first picture, I could see that they're sharing the food and discussing between themselves. So kind of team building is there. In the next pic, I can see, is it from the bold types cereal or some other? Anyway, here I can see that three colleagues are, are having good interpersonal skill, and they are enjoying there after the office hours, I believe. And in the bus, I can only think of responsible citizens are sitting.
Very responsibly. If only we had masks on them also.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I'm not sure about the fourth picture of the airport where it is. Oh, yes. They have maintained a kind of discipline over there, like maintaining the queue. And in the fifth picture, I could see that a lot of discussions are happening between the teams. And
our objective, Shantanu, I think everybody is, I'm very happy to see that we're thinking in context of teams and people working together. The purpose is actually to have a perspective of different businesses. So we have tried to capture different businesses here. One could be a hospitality, airline, shopping malls, and different businesses. Yeah. And for the purpose of this exercise, we'll stick to the first. So let's take the first business, which is about restaurants.
Right.
And if everybody can just think about the purpose of the business of restaurant. So you see people here, and you see people on a table having food together, and that is for somebody in the restaurant business. Now, if I say about the restaurant business, then what do you think is happening on that particular picture? And in the world of business, who do we want to impact? Is there an alternate reality? For example, these days, there is no restaurant happening. I'm just giving an example, but I want you to come up with alternate realities. And if there are alternate realities, then what is going to be the impact of the people whom you want to impact with the alternate reality. So the objective of the exercise is that we are talking about a business. We are currently talking about a business which is different from Nixie, but we will relate it to your own business. So if the business is serving people food, for example, in a restaurant, then I want you to identify who do we want to impact. Think of an alternate reality. What will happen if, how about if, and if that happens, then what is going to be the impact of that alternate reality on the people we want to impact? Is the exercise clear?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay. And then think about this exercise for whom you want to impact. We will relate that next. But first, let us take this example. So I think for this, we will not break out because that takes too much of time. We I'll give about 30 seconds. Everybody think over, and then I'll ask randomly. Okay. Somebody would like to go ahead?
I could say that the observation about how things are, you have already mentioned how the things are right now. So do you have to tell about the picture, how the things are, or you want us to say how the current situation is?
What do you think? If you see these people having food together, then what do you think is the purpose of this? Is it is to serve people food? It is, and then if that is the purpose, then what is the alternate? What could be an alternate thing?
Alternative reality to this would be cloud kitchen. If we talk about now, the alternative would be cloud kitchen, because from the cloud kitchen you could serve food to the people, and from a cloud kitchen a lot of brands also you can serve them. So different people have different kind of appetite, so you can impact them. And apart from that, how the positively impacted. So by this, the safe food get walk, the delivery people or the people who are serving at the restaurant can serve people. So that's how I feel that we could.
Everybody, in fact, everybody will be impacted, right?
Yeah.
For the benefit of everybody, if we think about an alternate reality for any of these industries, for example, I think travel industry is already thinking a lot about alternate reality, right? Because the business is running into maybe people will travel less. So if we continue to the restaurant business, maybe people will stop coming to restaurants. Maybe we were discussing in a different example, maybe every farmer will be producing their own food and will be serving it as a restaurant to the people tomorrow. There could be multiple realities of how food is brought from the producer to the consumer. And if you look at all these alternate realities, and I want you to think about all these alternate realities in the context of your business and your team, who are you serving? If you're serving the customer food, for example, as in a restaurant, then what is it that could be different? If you are helping people to get easier and better access to internet connectivity, then what is the alternate reality that is possible? And if that alternate reality is going to happen, then what is going to be your effort to do things differently for them? So you have to identify who you are serving. It could be the customer, it could be the people who are producing, it could be the people who are consuming, it could be the people in between. And you have to think about a future that you would like to see for the people whom you are creating an impact for. Okay, so in your own teams, now come back to the business of Nixie and your own teams, who do you think you are serving? And in your opinion, what is it that there is a new reality for them in the world of internet services? So then you're going to be looking at the purpose. You are ultimately there to be the backbone of global connectivity, right? To be able to empower each and every netizen of our country, providing them access to internet. And that is the if that is the purpose, and for your own teams also that is the purpose, what is an alternate reality? What is the possibility? And if that is there, then how are you going to be creating that impact? Anybody would like to pitch in here for your own businesses? Any ideas, any thoughts? Alternate reality to any team, any project that you are doing, anything, just to help us understand the part of the section.
So recently, if we talk about .in business, like we are managing the .in for the country, .in domain. So recently we have launched third level domain. We'll be launching third level domain. So that is one of the options, like you can say an innovation for us, because if you talk about second level domain, that is a simple domain name, maybe something like GoDaddy.in or Nixie.in. So these are the second level domains. And if you talk about third level domains, so those are very specific to different genres or different industries. So for example, if there's a doctor who want to have they want to have their own website, so it can be the doctors who are present in Delhi. So we have a domain, we have launched a domain which is called Delhi.in, and subdomain can be nitinjolly.delhi.in. So that person belongs to Delhi. So similarly, we have come up with doctors.in. So anybody who is a doctor, they can have that domain in their kitty. Who have a restaurant, they can have a restaurant.in, and maybe the name of the restaurant can be used before that restaurant domain name. So those kind of innovations we are coming up in order to see, apart from selling the regular product which we have, which was launched back in 2005, 2003, how we can innovate new products and we can test it in the market and see what is the response.
Correct. So you are trying to identify again, who are you impacting? So you're impacting different businesses. It could be a doctor, it could be a restaurant. So you're on the right track, and that is what you have to do for your own teams. And once you have done that, you have to relate it to the value. So Nixie's values have already been identified in a previous workshop attended by all of you, which were about empowerment, quality, trust, and innovation. And if we take them and connect them to your individual teams, so if we talk about empowerment, which is a value that is defined and it's an internal value, and it's something that is going to be there throughout in whatever project, whatever purpose that you identify, whatever alternate reality that you identify, whatever new businesses that you're putting in. So if we talk about all these values, and on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think as a team you are in this value? Empowerment first. We are building up to the vision, to creating the impact of the vision. For building up to the vision, we identify the purpose. After purpose, we have to connect the purpose to the core value of the company. So values are empowerment. So presently, where do you think you are as a team on a scale of 1 to 10 for empowerment, for quality, for trust, and for innovation? And the second question, if you are somewhere, say about 5 or 6 or 7, then what is it that you can do to strengthen further your team and your purpose that you are striving for around that particular value? So how do you rate empowerment, 0 to 10? You can keep these, you have a handbook, you can keep on jotting these, maybe spend some more time on it, so that the purpose that you adopt, the new dimension or the new product or the new alternate reality that you are thinking, whatever project that you are taking up, you connect it to the value, and within the value, you define that value to be on a particular scale. And then you try to define what is it that you can do to strengthen around that particular value. So either of the 4, we can take as an example to help all of you to work upon it, whether it is quality, trust, or innovation. Any example of where do you think, say, for example, on innovation or on empowerment, where you are as a team, for your own team, and how can you strengthen? Anybody, any team, finance team, the business development team, any of the teams?
So I say it's very subjective. From person to person, it will vary. But as a team, if you talk about on all these scale, this is something the brand, the Nixie as a brand has the value. The organization has these values. So if you are trying to correlate it with the team and asking team how they feel they are empowered or how they are innovating, how they are adding to the quality factor, or how they are doing adding the innovations to their end product, and thereby enabling the end users or the people who are using the services of Nixie. So definitely everyone is empowered enough to execute what they are asked to do on a day-to-day basis, what they have been, what's their KRA which has been defined. So they have been empowered enough. The quality is something on which there has been a good amount of focus, and as an organization, we are trying to achieve the quality in each and every task which we are undertaking. So as a team also, we are in the process of taking the ISO certifications also. So you can understand that once we are aiming for that certification, we have to improve our current processes. We need to identify the gaps in the current processes and plug those so that we deliver a quality service not only to the internal but as well as to the external customers. So, and talking about the innovation, the example which Nitin just shared, that we are also innovating in terms of our offering also, the way the third level domain which has been introduced, which has not been there. So since 2005, when we started giving the .in domains to the country, we have been giving the same set of domains to the end users. So for the first time, we have done the innovation, we have brought in this. Again, in terms of the innovation, we have brought in multiple factors in terms of the academy, the Nixie Academy, the learning opportunity, because as a part of a mandate of our organization, imparting or enabling the end users of our services, that's also a part of our mandate. So with the Nixie Academy, we have been able to offer that to the consumer of ours, and not only to our members, to or those organizations who are associated with us, but as a whole to the country. So whomsoever wants to undergo those trainings, they can undergo. So in a way, we are living all these values on a day-to-day basis. But yes, it may vary from anywhere from 6 to 9, because there is definitely a scope for improvement. We'll not say that we are almost at 10 in all the
that's a very frank assessment, Shubham. And then maybe the next step would be, when you are then putting it down and then trying to build up on each of these areas. All of them are very innovative, and I think a lot of purpose is there behind them. So you need to be able to see that how is it that you can improve that on a scale. And for that, we have gathered some insights from a lot of research that we've been doing. And the most important thing that we feel has to be identified is a very, it's called a BHAG goal. The BHAG is that you really have to push towards it. And the acronym stands for a big, hairy, audacious goal. It has to be audacious. You have to believe that it is something which is very exciting. It is something which actually may seem unbelievable, and you have to jump towards it. If that excitement and that limitness is not there, then that will not happen, and that will push you to reach from that 6 to the 10 also, for all the values and the purpose that you have been identifying. So we will try to look at how you can set big, hairy, audacious goals, having understood the process, having understood your vision, and then you're trying to build everybody together. And it has to be something which has to be put in a very, very clear manner. It has to be outside the comfort zone. One of the biggest things that we talked about, fear of failure, risk taking, etc. In that, it was that we make too many assumptions. We think that we cannot do it. We are too much in our comfort zone. So the goal that you are setting has to be outside the comfort zone. And of course, it has to be consistent with the overall vision statement of your organization, or where you want to be. So for this, we will again break out into just one. If you can, we can quickly break out and set into maybe groups of 3 only. Maybe just make 3 groups if possible, because I don't know, we are running out of time. And think of a big, hairy, audacious goal. And that goal has to be very exciting. Think of it in the context of the work that you are doing. Set a goal, and that goal has to be something that you dream, live, you want to achieve. And it has to be something which is clear, which you think will make a lot of sense, and it will prompt us to, yes, that we also want to join you in working towards that goal. So let's make 3 rooms, Vani. Will that be possible?
Okay, Bhavna, initiating the breakout rooms.
Thanks. I think let's close the rooms, Vani.
Sure, sure.
Welcome back, everybody. It was nice to see that all of you were discussing. And I could also see that you already have a lot of Bhag goals, so it makes my task easier. Already a vibrant organization we are trying to get involved with. So let's take the room 3 first. Room 3.
Room 3, yes. Shubham. In terms of the goals, as a team, as an organization, as an individual, everyone is aware of the audacious or the compelling goals which have been laid in front of us. So every business unit, they know what the targets which are to be achieved. Every individual knows that what are the targets which are to be achieved. So I'll say from that perspective, as an organization, as a team, we are already aligned. So we have operational target which are laid, and everyone is aware of that. And then what we discussed in the team in our room, Rajiv shared that along with those operational targets, we also have other I'll say other goals as well, which are not operational, which are not aligned with any kind of the contribution to any to the bottom line or to the top line, but for the country, for the benefit of the country. So there are some initiatives which we have undertaken recently, whether it's for the universal acceptance, whether it's for any for the giving the free mail IDs. So those are the initiatives which are not meant for any kind of a commercial benefit, but for the benefit of the entire ecosystem for the entire country. So I'll say that apart from having the clarity on these goals, we also have a vision for something else also.
I could make that in all the rooms because all of you were already very vibrant and excited. But still, I will invite room 2 also because I want to be very quick. Room 2, would you like to also share the Bhag impact that you have?
Mr. Abhishek, please go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, Bhag refers to speed, like speedily.
Bhag actually, coincidentally, Bhag was actually, Jim Collins is a very famous researcher. Bhag actually, he didn't know that there was a Hindi meaning to Bhag, which is Bhagna. But Bhag actually stands for big, hairy, audacious goals.
Okay,
It actually relates to Bhagna and it relates to Bhag, but it's a coincidence.
Bhavna ji, just wanted to know how hairy came into this.
आप उसके लिए ना वो रीडिंग मटेरियल हमने दिया है वो पढ़ लेंगे या फिर हमारी नेक्स्ट
Okay. So मैम
यानी ऐसे हुआ कि जैसे गोरिल्ला देखते हैं ना हम एक बड़ा सा गोरिल्ला है वो अगर सामने होगा और अगर वो होगा तो हमें भागना ही पड़ेगा
We just भाग, yeah.
So ma'am, our vision, like our audacious and immediate immediate goal would be to make exchange point number 1 in India. Currently we are at number 3. We have private players who are ahead of us. So to achieve a number 1 position, what we desire is that we should have all the tools in place, all the automation tools in place with the latest technology, so that our existing customers can have a very good experience, support experience, and whatever like we should have a world-class service which should have an edge over other competitors. And secondly, the technological platforms which we desire to use in which we desire to implement or use in the future, it should be with upgraded version, and all the desired resources, tools which are required should be in place, and our service should be such that all the customers should come to us.
This is actually very description. This is that if you feel that customers should come to you, तो आप pull कर रहे हो. आप pull कर रहे हो इसका मतलब आपके that goal is already very.
Yeah, ma'am, हमारी सर्विस ऐसी हो कि customers हमारे पास आए, हमें उनके पास ना जाना पड़ेगा. And secondly, software के लिए I request Praveen to share some views.
Praveen ji, go ahead.
According to my software team, my goal is to make the automate system. I just want to remove our manual process and provide the accuracy in the process. So it will be better achievement of the organization.
Very good. So Praveenji, your goal will be a very vibrant goal if all your team shares this every day, and whatever technology and software development that you are doing, they are able to share that. The last room, please. Last team, please. Or otherwise, we'll just, because we are short, we'll just continue. Yes, sorry. Nitinji, go ahead. You were saying
Yes. Yes. So we also discussed on the similar lines, that the kind of goals we are setting for our teams this year, we think those are very, bhag goals. You can say that, because we are targeting almost, 5 times what we have achieved in the last year.
Right. So the moment you have that goal in place, the clarity of the goal is going to be achieved only by being able to spell it down, and spell it down with a lot of clarity. So we will just take the last few 5-8 minutes to wind up, because this is the most important part, to make your template in terms of the purpose. For whom do you want to impact? What is it that matters to them? What you are imagining as the future for them, so that they can do what, and what is going to be the way, the steps, your goal to achieve the purpose that you've set for your customers. And last but not the least, why, how are you going to achieve? So by using what is your strength, what is your mindset? So if the goal is to get the customers to you, if the goal is to make all organization processes redundant and make them automated, then how are you going to be doing that? Which is the strength, or which is the mindset, or which is the improvement that you see? And this becomes your template. This actually becomes the summary of this entire exercise in terms of how you're going to impact by setting the vision, defining the purpose of the vision, and being able to allocate an appropriate goal and the path to that goal towards it. This is a short exercise. One, is it possible that we go back to the same rooms that we had made, so that this vision template can be done?
Yeah, Bhavna. For how?
Just about a minute, so that we can actually put it down in one statement each, something like this.
So I'll be opening the rooms in a short while.
Yeah. So for clarity, you were discussing and you were setting certain goals, and you've all been able to describe them very well. Because everything has to be ultimately put down in a systematic manner in terms of a template. If you can put it down in terms of as vividly as you can, for what matters, what you imagine, so that they, in terms of a full procedural layout as to what you will be doing, using the strength and the mindset and whatever resources you have to achieve that goal. And that will become the impact of what you are thinking to do to what you will do. Why let us know when you're breaking?
Yes, initiated.
Yeah, okay. Yes, so great. Nitinji, your room can go ahead first. Room 1.
Yes, Supratik, please go ahead.
So in terms of who do we want to impact would be the citizen of India. The product line that we are looking at, business line, was domains, the domain business of Nixie. And what would matter to them would be a unique digital identity and also a unique Indian identity. So a domain is a starting of a digital presence for any business or any individual. And .in signifies their Indian identity also. What we imagine as the future for the users of our domains would be that across the globe, people and businesses and their clients and customers would be easily able to recognize an Indian company just by looking at their website's domain. .in, Indian. And the benefit that they can derive out of it, firstly, since it's a starting point of their digital presence, the benefit that they can derive out of getting a domain would be global access or reach to a market which was untapped prior to getting online. By doing this, the bhag that we will be achieving would be the humongous target of domains that we have set for ourselves, which again is big, hairy, and audacious. and by using which strengths would be, I mean, sheer grit and hard work, I believe. And of course, since the vision is defined, and we'll do it.
Perfect. I think very well put. You can just take this down, and I suggest that you just think about it in a little broader perspective after the workshop also. So we'll discuss that. Room 2, Negi ji and I think Abhishek, Gautam.
Abhishek,
Yeah,
please
yeah,
go ahead.
Nick. Okay. So, what we have discussed in our room is that for us, we want to impact the larger internet community, the larger internet ecosystem of the country. What matters to them is that availability of the resources which we provide, like IPv6, IPv4 resources with ease, and availability of neutral exchange points across the country, which we are already providing, and we are planning to have more infrastructure in future. We can imagine in future is that every individual connected with the internet, or every individual having his business or enterprise running on the internet, should have all the required resources, should have the resources which are technically more upgraded, so that they can benefit to their end customers, they can benefit the country as a whole, in terms of having a good and what we say resilience internet ecosystem. By doing this, we will be as I said, making system so much easy, process oriented, and more speedily, so that all the deliverables, like whatever we do, we can do it with speed. That is what.
Wonderful. Right. Wonderful. Room 3, Praveen ji, and I think Praveen ji, you were in room 3?
No, ma'am, he was in room 2.
So room 3, me, Abhishek, and Rajiv. Abhishek, would you like to take it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for, I think the answer is the common for all everyone. I also have the same answer. It is for the Indian economy, for the organizations who are willing to to get IP address. We want to have an impact on them. What matters from their point of view, I think the quality of service is what matters to them. We provide better quality to them. What you imagine as the future for them, I think they want that we provide them resources, whatever they require, and the quality of service should be without having any so what that they benefit. So so they benefit from what they itself, their organization is benefit from it, and they are their customers, they are benefit from it. And by doing this, we will be bhag. Yes, we have to do a lot of bhagam bhag for that.
Abhishek ji, I understand you will look after the network administration. So maybe you can,
Yes.
within the network administration, you can
Yeah.
think about your internal audacious goal within that, specifically for your particular area.
For department, for particular area. Yeah, that's what I have already included, that the quality of service which is matter to them.
Correct. And,
Yeah.
and for your particular process, for your own team within that particular aspect, because overall I'm very happy to see that everybody is excited to do something, and even we will be very proud of a .in identity for the organization perspective. So that is the organization perspective, but each one of you are going to be leading your own teams and your own projects. So within your own projects at that micro level also, because you are going to be leaders of your respective, the finance functions or the business development or the registry or the technology functions, etc. So within your own teams also, every small goal that you are doing for your team itself should be qualified as a bhag. So if you are within the accounting function or the finance function also, then your impact could also be within your own organization. If you are within just the administrative function or the software function, as Praveen ji was saying, you are developing that particular thing. So for that particular department and for that particular team, you can set up your own individual smaller purpose, so that your purpose internally to your team which you are leading and the project which you are leading then builds up to the overall image and impact that Nixie wants to have for the country and for the consumers. So as we go towards the next stage of the Leadership Lab from this particular session, you can take away these thought processes and try to identify the purpose from taking the organizational purpose to your own leadership purpose and your own strengths in the area of administration or business development, marketing or accounting or software development or finance, and the impact of your own things. It could be the way that you are managing your finances, and to be able to then describe it within your particular department and your particular project, so that it is going to impact the overall vision and the overall impact that Nixie wants to have for the country and for the netizens of tomorrow. So as we go towards the end of this session, if everybody can just share one insight that you will be taking, what is it that stuck with you out of this workshop today? Nitinji, one insight from today's workshop, the one key takeaway.
I think it's very important to have a vision, because everything revolves around the vision. And so first defining your vision is very important. And then, setting your target. When do you want to achieve that vision, and what will be the track, and what will be the support functions and people who will be going to support you to achieve that vision. So making that, kind of a design for yourself is very important. So I think that is what I would say the takeaway for me, the importance of vision.
Abhishek, Gautamji, your takeaway, your one insight.
Ma'am, we have to do continuously bhagam bhag. It was just on the lighter side. Sorry. So the most important takeaway from this session is that we have to develop a vision which should synergize us, which should bring an energy within us, and for achieving that vision, all of us should be motivated. The team, all the teams, all the concerned people should be empowered, and there should be a constant infuse of enthusiasm among the team members, and we can achieve our goal in that way.
Yes, and if you can work on the template for your own department of technology that you are leading, then it will be helpful for the things. Yes.
Yes.
Megiji, Nitinji, Praveenji, Rajiv, Shubham, any your insights, please?
Yeah, one insight I'm taking away from this workshop is we got to know the role of vision, and probably we are setting our personal visions to achieve the big goal of the company.
Absolutely.
Actually, the big goal is set by our CEO sir, and we all are working. We are doing our synchronized efforts to achieve that goal, and in that process, we all are setting our visions, and we are trying to achieve them. This is what I got to learn from today's session workshop. It was very enriching, and I hope we're going to get such type of workshops in future also. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. No, Negiji, I think excellent takeaway. Abhishek, Gautamji, if you can synergize your own vision to the organization vision, that was a takeaway.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Abhishek, go ahead.
Ma'am, you are asking me?
No, you've already said.
Abhishek
Mishra is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Praveenji, you want to add something? Your insight?
Yes, at my end, if there is an insight is there. Definitely, there is a vision is there by said my CEO sir, but we have to work together with the team until the single person cannot move ahead to set all kind of things which is required to collaboration of teamwork, which is very important for us to achieve any kind of goals which we have set for the organization. That's it.
Very well put, Praveen. Thank you so much. Very nice. Shubham ji?
So I'll say that everyone has given a right context. Even Praveen, what he said, definitely that's a kind of an insight. And as a team, I'll say that the entire purpose of conducting these workshops is to make us realize that all of us are together, all of us are part of a team, and each one of us has got a defined role. The goal or the purpose which has been defined for us for the year, that is already there, but each one of us has to contribute, and we have to achieve that goal. So even if we are a technical person, even if we are a finance person, we have something to contribute to achieve those goals. So that focus, that vision is required, that why we exist in this entire setup and how we can contribute, how we can help in achieving that desired goal. So that's the key takeaway, which I think each one of us should have from this workshop.
Thank you, Shubham. Rajiv, would you like to add something? And Supratik, you were all of you. Thank you for so much for the interactiveness. Any one insight that you would like to share?
I'd second with Shubham ji. Whatever Shubham ji said sums it up real well.
Great. Then I think that brings us to the end of this particular session. There are a few reading recommended. If you would like to look into why the hairy part came in, then please read The Built to Last by Jim Collins. And a few other reading material are always there. And we are, of course, always there to help Nixie to achieve the goal, as all of you are sharing that vision to help there. So, Vani, I hand it over to you.
Yeah, Gaurav, could you ping the link for feedback, please? We'll take just another minute, and we request everyone to share their valuable inputs and feedback via the link. And Dr. Bhavna, thank you. Wonderful session. And thank you to the audience to make it even more wonderful with their active participation and shares.
It was all because of the audience, and I could feel that there was, in any case, a lot of synergy within the different teams. And
absolutely
look forward to Nixie being a more active player, empowering each one of us within our own country. And thank you, everybody, for joining, and thank you. Have a great day. Stay safe.